Hello friends, welcome back to another session of my financial predictions, my trading signals for Nvidia and gold. Today is the 27th of January and oh boy, we got a very bad day for the markets in general. Nvidia crashed very hard. It's one of the hardest crashes at least of the current past 3 months, something like that. Only counting this day from the highest position to the lowest, we're talking about 9% almost. But this is obviously not even taking into consideration the massive gap that we see after trading hours between today and the last market day on Friday. So it's really quite massive, guys. It's really massive. This crash, I mean, it's not only the lowest point for Nvidia in this month, it's also the lowest. I mean, we'll have to go back all the way back to October to find an even lower point. Okay, this is the scale of the collapse that we saw today. Okay, this was very crazy. Now, what can I tell you guys about this? Well, I told you in my last videos that Monday was going to be extremely volatile. I told you all. I said that because we have this volatility pattern right here, the same day shared by opposite energies, opposite circles, we have the green and the red sharing that single day. That always means volatility, guys. And I told you it will be a crash. I told you it will be a correction because it's very near the end of the month. Okay, this is the final week of the month and it's going to be very bearish for Nvidia. It's usually like that. In my experience covering Nvidia, it's usually like that, and especially even more when we have the last circle on the red, which is also a very important pattern that we have studied here in my predictions, in my method regarding these circles. So this was to be expected, guys, but even I am surprised at how low it actually went. I could have seen this coming maybe if I have done more predictions, more specific predictions, but I mean, guys, I only have time to do so many things. And I told you everything in this chart is extremely accurate, okay, 90% accuracy. And my work, especially right now, is almost completely focused on cryptocurrencies. That's where I get the most interactions, the most people, the most followers. That's where I get my paying subscription. I mean, some people pay me for private predictions. So yeah, that's maybe why, I mean, I can only do so many predictions in a day, in a month. So be aware of that. But I mean, what can I tell you guys? I predicted all of this. I told you right here, this is a circle, this is a day, today, 27th of January, Monday. I'm going to show you very briefly some of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies predictions because it's very related to what we saw. But before I go with that, I just want to tell you that the next day, tomorrow, could still have some red energies. We could still see another correction. It's not guaranteed because this is an alternative day circle, meaning that only one of these days is going to be very volatile. I mean, our correction, we got a very volatile correction, just like we saw. But the danger is still there, guys. Okay, so we can see maybe an even lower position tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be crazy like this, like 5%, 9%, but it could go lower, maybe 2%, 3%, something like that. Now, for the other days, 29, 30, they are going to be very volatile days. Maybe even some of them will be range days where the price doesn't move, like this right here, the Friday, 17th of January. But around the last days, like the actual 2 last days of the month, I think we're going to see some volatility, and it's going to hit hard, especially on the last day, on the 31st of January. And there's a very small possibility that maybe on the 30 Either we get an impulse, a green day, or maybe it will be not as bad of a trading day, okay? But yeah, Nvidia right here, very, very powerful corrections, just like I told you. Look at this. This is just massive, almost 60%. Yeah, right here, you can see it right here. Absolutely massive. Now let's take a look at the gold chart before I go to the crypto charts to show you. But yeah, gold was also very, very volatile in these days. Very, very volatile. I told you guys that the 27, 28 will see a danger zone. I mean, let's go from the beginning, right? Okay, so we got the 25, 26 were going to be green days, okay? Now, the 25 was not a market day. The 26 was a very, very volatile day. You can see that that's the last day of this circle right here. So we didn't really get a green day per se. We got a correction the entire day. This is because the final days are usually the hardest, and I'm actually surprised that gold is also affected by this hidden pattern right here. But yeah, very, very volatile day. Now the 27 was also a very volatile day. Okay, so this is where it begins, this is where it peaks, and this is where it crashes all the way down. Okay, so that day was extremely very volatile. You can see a perfect mix of both energies. A very strong pump in the first hours and an even harder correction later on. Because the 27 was a yellow day, yellow always means volatility. Given that gold is also very volatile, it's almost guaranteed that we'll see no range. Then this day was also part of this range of opportunity right here from the 25 to the 28. So it was also green in that sense. It did contain some green energy, some pump energies. You can see right here. It's a very nice pump, almost 1%. This is quite massive. So to see this amount of volatility in a single day, it's quite big. I mean, this is not normal in any way. But after that peak, we can see an even stronger correction, okay? So this is basically where it ends, something like the lowest to the lowest. It's almost, it's 1.5%. And where it's currently at, it's 1% and a little bit more than 1%. So very, very volatile day, extremely volatile. And you can see that these trends, this was also part of the day, was also part of this danger zone right here, 27, 28. Okay, remember the danger zones are a range of days where we're going to see very, very powerful movements. Okay, either going up in the case of green boxes, or going red, going downhill to perdition on the red boxes. Okay, so extremely volatile, just like I told you guys, just like I told you. For the next days, we can expect more volatility, and I'm afraid that in the case of gold, we see solid red days, 29, 30, so even lower. We go even lower than this. I think we can reach somewhere around these levels and maybe reach this support zone right here. Okay, it could be reasonable considering that we have more red days coming, and in the worst case scenario we could see another correction tomorrow. So be aware of this, guys. It's going to get wild for gold. But yeah, that's basically for the next couple days, almost the final days of the month. But we'll cover, just like I promised, very, very small, very, very briefly, these crypto predictions, okay? So what can you see right here? Okay, a massive crash, almost as bad as the Nvidia one. In fact, in some cases it was actually worse. But this time the crash right here started on the 26th of January, okay? So I'll show you very, very quickly how all of my crypto charts that I'm covering for this month show that exact date as a red day, okay? So that was Bitcoin. This is Solana. Very, very hard crash. Again, 26, 27 on the red. Look at this. 14% loss. Okay, so that was Solana. Now let's get to the Ethereum cryptocurrency. And Ethereum also shows a massive crash starting on the same days, 26, 27. Okay, look at this, almost 10%. And we'll go to the final chart, which is the XRP chart. And guess what? Again, another massive correction. Okay, very, very hard. Now, this one is the only exception in the sense that it doesn't show the 26 as a red day. It only shows it as a green day. Maybe that was because it kind of did a little bit better than other cryptocurrencies, but by all means, it was a red day. So you can see the extreme correlation all of these charts have, even with gold, even with Nvidia, even though we're talking about only cryptocurrencies right here. I mean, this is amazing that I predicted all of this way in advance. Okay, I told you I published these charts, these crypto charts on the last days of December. I published my Nvidia charts, I think, on the first days of January, I think on the first or second, something like that. And you can see all of them. Every single one of these charts show the same days as red days. Okay, even though we're talking about different assets. Okay, a different category of assets. So it's very, very big, very troublesome news for the markets in general. I'm wondering if this is the beginning of a crash. I don't think that will be the case. I think this year we're going to see a green year, I think. It's still very early. I mean, this is January. This is the first month, but I am not that pessimistic like many other people I have been seeing right now, especially on YouTube and X. But usually those people are just grifters, man. I mean, there's one guy on Twitter who I just discovered, and apparently he's one of the biggest bears out there in Twitter, and he's been doing posting since like 10 years, something like that. So you'll get some kind of losers, some very, very weird people. I don't know what's their agenda, but it's very, very funny that you see bearish perma bears that have been spanning 10 years across the scene, doom posting and telling people all kinds of dumb stuff. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you. I'll wish you a good day. Before I go, just want to remind you to subscribe, share, and like. See you guys next time. Take care.